Omega.
Okay, they need a maybe a Loyi, yeah, sure. Angela. So
This is a whole lot of not expected.
yes, 100%. Which means that Echo, I mean, you can. There's the classic counter to both Harith and Angela is the Esmeralda, but that's very unlikely to be picked up. I think the Echo might just consider getting a locked up like a one-shot Sanford hero, like maybe Lapo or Yuzhong, with Yuzhong being one of the top ones in mind.
Love it. Love
And
it.
maybe with no Minotaur, maybe they just go Grok or Tigreal.
Okay. I think the fact too that Echo already has a lot of the vision with the Novaria.
Oh, gotcha.
Wow. So this makes it work really well. Like this is the
Oh.
Benedetta then on top of it.
Classic
So,
Sanford.
yeah, this is a classic Sanford, but I love that they have Novaria. It gives vision, right? And then you pair it up with the Kaja. Like this is a spotter kind of approach, right?
yeah.
Like they spot it out, they get the Kaja who doesn't have to go searching,
Yeah.
checking these bushes and everything else to get that Divine Judgment off on the right target. And it could work really well here, right? Of course, Benedetta is always some sort of risk factor to it, this hero. But again, this is Sanford, right? This is who we were talking about leading into this game, where I said, like, who's the standout lane for this lineup still from Echo? And a lot of people would still say, yeah, the XP lane, it's Sanford.
Lapu, Yuzhong. Whoa, okay. That's a glue. So much surprises. I mean, Omega, you can see that the last 3 picks that they did, Harith, Angela, as well as Glue, you almost never see this.
They're basically trying to see if they can throw off Echo here, who are very well known for control of their lanes. You know what? They made the opposite. They made the heroes that can really throw off those lane controls and maybe steer it more towards the team fighting side of things.
I'm also wondering, like, with so much here, as we take a look at the audience prediction, 70% for Echo, but again, with so much shielding, sustainability that could happen here from Smart Omega's lineup, Echo's going to have to kind of answer that really quickly, for the most part. And I'm not sure about this, by the way, but I'm looking behind me and I see Khalid for some reason on the screen. Yeah, so I don't know if that was actually a Benedetta or if that was a Khalid. So that could have just been a
Let's double check.
Yeah, but I heard that your body suffers, so
yeah, so
it's usually Benedetta.
we'll find out as we jump here. The drums are going once again for Echo, still here in Season 13. We jump into Land of Dawn for the last match to round out week number 1 here. You get a good look at both junglers getting set up, situated, and it is going to be okay. It is a Benedetta, so I was going to say, the Khalid threw me off here inside the MPL arena.
Yep.
Right now,
Feels good.
we're back.
Oh, double leash coming out from Echo, and so I looked at I have confirmed that it was Sanford as well as Outplayed that helped the bats, that helped Zaida take the jungle easily. So if you're gonna be looking at the pace for Zaida, this is important to take note, because usually Baksha outspeeds everyone from the jungling, and Bats is not the fastest jungler. But because of the movements coming out from Echo, Zaida is actually matching up well when it comes to the clear speed on the jungle.
Yeah, that Baksha definitely something that, aside from it clears fast, it moves so much quicker, right?
Yep.
So that's something that they're bridging. They're trying to bridge that difference between the junglers with that mid and support.
Yep.
Both of them get that level 4 pretty much at the same time, right, for both junglers. But right now you can already see a focus here, putting some pressure on West once again. I'm not really expecting with both these lineups there to be any early first bloods, right, for the most part. You're going to see them get kind of centered up into the first objective here. Also, at the same time, JP, one of the great things about having this Kaja available is that on demand usually kind of numbers disadvantage. You can usually get a kill quite quickly having the Kaja, and then again carries snowball potential, right? So they're getting really close to those level 4s up top in the XP lane. Now they'll make their way for the objective here. Smart Omega in position for members against the 4 of Echo.
Looks really good so far for Omega. Their melee heroes really making sure they can zone out Zaida, who is actually quite busy with the purple buff right now. but he will be here in time. He has Retribution in hand as well. And Sanford, he's making marked life here in the mid lane so much more
Oh
difficult
my
than it
God.
should be, even forcing a flicker out of the glue. And there you go, Zyda securing that turtle. The fight could still go for Omega, but they decide to pull back.
And some important clarifications here. This is an EX Plane Ruby and a glue in the roam roll. That's why Marked was actually wearing the conceal boots. But when he tried to get a level 4, Sanford was smart enough to take down the Marked and force that flicker.
Huge. Right now here, West, obviously, if you're a Harith, you want to leverage your ability to duel early on against the carrier, else you know what, you might have problems later.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's trying to do that even 1v2 right now.
You know, it is clear that Outplayed played this matchup before, because the way that he used the flicker, and the way that he is actually leading against West, trying to win that lane, it tells us that he knows how to play against the Harith. He's not overextending. So Echo really prepared for this match.
Yeah,
Oh, for
they're,
sure.
the way that they're moving around the map shows it, but still, you know, with either
Ooh.
team,
What?
What?
Not gonna
That's
land
a
that.
very... Did you see that item
Rose
pickup?
Gold Meteor.
What is
First
that?
item.
We have to ask that later for sure, but for now, yeah, it's Sanford and Louise wailing on each other. But yeah, what's the...
what's up
What-
with that, Wolf?
What's up with
that
that? You have a
about?
little bit of damage and a lot of defense on that. It's like a, it's not a double-edged sword, but it's like a holding a shield and a sword.
It's like a broadsword.
It's
So-
a rose and a meteor sword.
Yes, sir. And with Zyda holding onto the Radiant Armor early, going up against his magic-based heroes, this is Echo identifying that magic is the way to go for Omega, and they're countering it.
Yeah, they set themselves up for success with itemization alone, and there you go.
Wow.
Just making sure that you can get something done here. Luis, great
Whoa.
lifesteal and the pullback here with the I'm Offended. And there you go. That's going to be first blood going over here to Omega, who are feeling really good right now. Mark is even here. He even used the flicker in to get it up on the front.
Oh.
There's split and the grab. Make sure you put your target in the right position here. Ryldo might be in trouble here as well. Sanford, the big difference maker here for Echo. Sanji as well, just doing non-stop damage from the side, but he just ran out of teammates here up on the top side of the map.
That was one of the longest exchanges we have seen so far.
Exactly.
The back and forth here, and just how long it took for those members to fall, but ultimately, Smart Omega will come out on top, plus an objective.
Wonderful play coming out from Omega. Especially because Lewis just held his ground. He prioritized the War Axe and went for the full fighter build. And because of but because of that, Lewis was able to just lifesteal and spell vamp his way out of that fight. Especially because Ryle already activated the ultimate. A great counterplay coming out from Omega.
Man,
No
again.
boots, by the way, for the carry. Just straight up rose gold meteor. I love that.
Man,
Just noticed that.
our GM.
Still a smart choice given the lineup, right, that we're talking about here. But
Absolutely.
man, talk about just how much value right now that Angela even brings to the table, right? The Heart Guard really changed the course of that fight up top, and that's why Sanji, you just saw him pick up the Necklace of Durance, right? Like, he needs that to help with this kind of sustainability coming out from Smart Omega's lineup. So you can see them put a lot of pressure here too. Sanford also picking up the next big item to help deal with a lot of the sustain.
The HP bars of Omega are very deceptive all around, right? Luis is going to get his HP back immediately almost. Mark can go split up if he's in trouble. Alongside the Heart Guard, it's becoming very apparent that Omega has thought of this.
Even the glue is starting to be a problem for Echo because of that flicker play that we saw from Mark himself. There's a lot of staying power for Omega,
Yeah.
and they're just gonna be doing the 4 protect 1 strat where West is gonna be the one to output the damage. But Mark will always be on top of the Barretts to make it a non-factor. And look at that! There's still no boots for Outplayed.
Bro,
He doesn't need the
Barefoot
boots.
carry.
it's
Barefoot
interesting.
carry.
He's just trying to survive, right? Because I think in the end, you're right, Wolf. Omega and Echo knows this. They just need to build magic resist because it's all gonna be up to the Harith. later on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, as the game goes on, and you already deal with a lot of the sustainability for Smart Omega, like Echo is trying to play that long game here, working around the lineup that they have to. They know that Outplayed, all he needs to do is also farm up here. The true damage is going to be a big factor later on in some of these fights. So even if they manage to get this turtle, that's great. But look at the bottom side.
Yeah, huge teleport here on the bottom side with the hard guard for West. And still, again, it's still a Harif. So good at these duels early on. Takes out a 2v2. And he also managed to secure the turtle, at least for Echo.
Oh, back-to-back clashes. Echo just literally not respecting the healing potential that can come out from the Angela. And this is, by the way, a position for Angela, so that's a lot of damage that can come out from that.
Luis,
Oh
well
my
played
God.
with a solo 2v1 on the top side, using that turret to its full advantage.
What a play. And again, 3-0-2 now. Proven to be a menace on this Ruby pick so far. And still, Smart Omega now nearly 2K ahead. They're going to be able to work around this, especially leading into the next objective right now. So still looking to make a play top side. Looking to spot out Zyda to get the turret. And this is the durability, sustainability combination that they're working with right now. It's just really tough for Echo to find the damage this early on in the 9-minute mark to deal with it, even in the mid-game.
The problem now for Echo, because you mentioned about the power spike of Omega in the mid game. It's not only felt, but you can see that it can be translated into the gold lead that Omega is holding on now. Come the Lord fight, they don't have enough to pierce through the defenses of Omega. They do have lockdown though, so it's gonna be JP being very crucial when it comes to the Lord team fights, because he's gonna be the one to take out West.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like even with that, though, like they just have to give up these turrets. They have to give up the space to work around, and Smart Omega knows that, right? They know that we have this advantage right now, and it's good that Outplayed finds this tier 2, but currently, I think even part of it, Sanji needs a lot more time to build up here. Again, he rushed the Necklace of Durance, right? So he had to build that. He doesn't have any big damage items just yet. So the more time that Echo buys for himself here, they will be able to contest some of these objectives in these fights, whittle down the health bars of Smart Omega a little bit more. But right now, both teams getting a position, once again, for this Lord. Not sure if any wants to commit just yet, though, as they focus around the macro game. And one of the advantages right now is Smart Omega holds on to that tier 1 still on their side of the map.
Yeah.
Overall, it just feels like both teams waiting for that specific timing, especially for side of Echo, right? When is the optimal time for Echo to take these fights and maybe go for an all-out, Lord fight, Lord steal here? Because West is so scary on the Harif right now. And of course, Luis is going to be threatening that side lane as well over and over again.
Yeah, I can see Lewis is, if you're going to be looking at Sanford, this is his signature hero, but he's getting bodied by Lewis. 3-0-2 for the Ruby. 1-2-0 for the Benedetta. And even in that split push, Benedetta was duly punished. Lewis going for the Malefic Roar. This is damage Ruby, not
Bro.
sustain Ruby.
No wonder he's 3-0 right now.
Scary now, still fighting. They're going to go for this Lord. Sanford making his way as well.
Oh, Echo, they're finally done waiting here. JP pulls the trigger with the flicker. Yeah, but it's not going to make a mark here for the meantime, as Luis does have the hard guard. And now they will have a missing key for the team fight. It's going to be a big one underneath this Lord. This is very close to Red 3, but they're losing out on members right now. Omega, they are losing out big time. Just standing right now is Ra, Luis, and Mark. But who is going to be left alone? Who is going to be left standing here? It looks like Outplayed might be in trouble. He already used the flicker as well. Luis and Mark are going for the chase. Flicker already used by Ra as well. Lord is walking on bottom side here. But oh man, they lose out on the objective. But Omega's skirmishing and dueling capabilities are through the roof.
That, again, a perfect picture of just how much sustainability and durability Smart Omega's lineup has, even given that Echo did get the Lord. They won some of the battle, but Smart Omega just holding it together still.
And that's bad news for Echo, despite them getting the Lord. Because there is something that we have confirmed in this mid game that we're looking at. Omega only made the bad decision to utilize the hard guard onto Lewis, and that's understandable because Lewis was in trouble. But then, if we think about it, the next fight that happens, make sure that Lewis is not positioning is not compromised. Pop the hard guard onto West. They're gonna be a-okay because man, Zaida had to really dig deep into his bag of tricks just to punish Omega. He had actually the most ideal Barrett's performance where he was able to utilize the Daytona's wake up onto West and then throw it over to Matt so that he stuns 2 people and then he gets the retribution.
Yeah.
That's the most ideal scenario. Might not happen again for Echo.
You know what's surprising? We haven't seen that kind of Barrett's play in a while here.
Exactly. That's,
In
that's
the last
the dream.
in the
That's the
weekend.
dream.
Yeah, and a lot of people will point that out. But then we see it from someone who is from MDL. I love that here right now.
All the Barrett's mains.
The Barrett's mains right now.
Yep.
Not a hero I'd pick, but I respect it. So,
Respect.
you know, again, it's funny because it is such an effective hero, and the way that it's played here by Zaida right now can really turn the tide of these later on Lord fights,
Yeah.
right? Outplayed as well has to be able to position himself in a better situation, and I know that's probably difficult given the fact that everything that Smart Omega's throwing at him is tough to deal with, especially. Okay, we're going to get a situation there again with the heart working against the heart guard and everything else, right? Outplayed's positioning will be crucial here for them, and JP as well has to be able to find the right target with that divine judgment. So, 30 seconds away here from that Lord pickup. Smart Omega sticking together, crucial. Big damage item pickup here for West, gets the Divine Glaive.
Oh, Echo has to really respect what Omega can bring to the table. And it's looking good for Echo for sure. But then again, they're not out of the what's the term? Out of the
Not
weeds?
out of the woods.
Woods.
Just yet, yeah.
Out of the woods.
Not out of the weeds? What?
Not out of the weeds. I mean,
mean,
people could hide in weeds.
Yeah, for sure.
I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
You can get stuck in weeds.
Yeah.
You know?
But for Omega,
Not ideal, Wolf.
not ideal. This is their power spike. 100% their power spike. I think Lewis with his oh my goodness. Did I jinx him now?
No, you
He's
didn't.
safe.
No.
He's safe.
It's fine.
But yeah, with this full damage build up, even endless battle.
Bro,
Oh.
that's a warrior if I've ever seen one.
Oh.
That is
my
a
God.
fighter. A fighter, Ruby.
What do you call this version of Ruby?
Oh.
Like, I don't
Agree Ruby or
Aggro Ruby?
yeah,
Class
Aggro Ruby.
Ganon.
Oh,
Oh, look at this. Zaida can't really sustain that much. Surprising damage coming out from the Omega
Oh.
members here, but here comes Sanford coming in straight in with the Electro Final Blow, and now they are on the chase for each and every member they can handle here for Echo. But Omega, they're losing out on HP. Sanji making the Star Shatters hit their targets, and now that forces Omega to back off.
again, you know, even that whole exchange, they don't want to go ahead and deal with the Lord just now, but you could see once again the durability of Smart Omega lineup, even outplayed. Like, I'm kind of wondering, like, where is that damage that we're so used to seeing with this carry? And part of it is he's just not able to get in the position to get those procs off
Yes.
even.
Yeah.
So Smart Omega now will go ahead and start this Lord. They've got the Heart Guard ready from Ryle as well. They're going to go ahead and start it up.
Yep, starting it up right now. It's going to be Martin. Already used up the split. That might be crucial information here for Echo. As the Omega are wailing in straight onto that Lord. Still getting secured here by West, though.
Okay, West gets it. They call it back, but they get the objective here, Wolf.
Yeah. That's a great stack for Omega. They only lose their roamer, so that's totally fine. And he's gonna be respawned in 30 seconds anyways. Health of the minion wave, it's gonna be controlled by Omega, but Echo immediately answers. We have to make the beeline towards top. Let's clear the waves and pop that notification in chat. Clear up lanes.
Clear up lanes.
I can tell he uses that a lot in
Yes,
his ranked
sir.
games. Like, guys, clear up those lanes.
Clear up
Come on.
That's true. I have attack the turtle, clear up lanes, and attack the Lord.
Top three.
Yep.
I don't ever use any of those.
What do you use?
I just use a thumbs up emote. That's it. That's all I
Most
use.
nice thing I've heard today.
Well, top side, look at the battle.
Yeah, they're trying to leverage, see if they can use this Lord to make a push happen, though. But now Echo, they are mad. They're showing their fangs. And they're showing they got damage still here.
No Zaman Force, but that's a short cooldown anyways. Gonna be up in a few seconds now.
So we're waiting. This is funny because we were talking about this earlier, right? The personality of Smart Omega, man. We're nearing the 18-minute mark. I don't even think the Omega timers, I don't know. Maybe you guys can argue with me here. Maybe people in the chat, the diehard Barangay fans can say, you know, they're still Smart Omega timers.
Yeah.
But right now, it's, I don't know, would you call this a relatively even battle when it comes to these actual skirmish fights? Because another big item is going to be picked up here by Echo for Sanji. He has the Divine Glaive now as well.
Yeah, 100%. I think this is a close, very close fight. In fact, even when Echo is leading by 1.2, I could argue that Omega still is leading because this is still their power spike. Although 18 minutes is my own timer for the late game, and we can now say that, yeah, this is now Echo's playing field as well as Sanford's. But I only say that because I wasn't aware that Lewis is actually playing the damage build. Only one defensive item, only one Kiras for Lewis. This is gonna hurt, and that's also the reason why he is able to sustain himself because of the spell vamp.
Yeah, and I think that's also the big reason why he's the target of the Heart Guard, because they know that they're going to use Luis for the brunt of the damage instead of West.
Yeah, like West comes in and cleans up with magic damage, you know, especially when this is Zaman Force available. But I still feel like if you're Smart Omega, one of the major things you have to watch out for with Sanford being on the signature pick, the Benedetta, is that side lane pressure. You can even see him setting up for it, right? And that's kind of something you have to deal with, especially when these Lord dances come up, right? Sanford's going to be putting the pressure there, and they might decide, you know what, Luis, go deal with it. But then you lose a lot of that CC potential that Ruby brings to these team fights. So we'll see if they decide. If Echo decides, hey, we'll just fight it out. You know, full on 5 versus 5, we can do that. We can put pressure in the side lanes. But ultimately, it's up to Echo to decide that, because another factor is, again, Sanji is going to be providing the vision with this Novaria pick. You can see Smart Omega putting themselves here. Now, Luis and Ryle can hold down the side lane if they have to, but eventually he's going to have to hard guard out of there.
And we're going to see a huge stance here around the Lord area. Omega seems to be trying to use this as bait, maybe. And JP, he's on the side. He's looking for a target. Where is Louise? Where is West right now?
JP's positioning as well, waiting patiently. Could make a play with a concealed Divine Judgment if they're able to spot someone out. Lord's going to go ahead and reset, though. They don't want to commit just yet. It isn't a full reset, but right now, Smart Omega taking things slow. There's a little bit of that pressure on the top side as well, but they still have Ryle there, so as they work through it, they're going to be spotted out by Sanji.
Oh boy.
Either team taking it a go just yet.
Really liking this glue coming up from Omega. Great versus Sanji.
Oh. Yeah, they're making it work right now. Going for a concealed play straight up on the Zyda. Can't even use Daytona's Welcome. That's the Echo jungler going down. And who will be next? Outplayed, getting chased down here. That's a double for the Harith.
Sanford's still on that side of the map.
Oh!
Shot's going to land from Sanji.
Sanji, you cannot let your guard down. Not a second. Luis falls, though. Mortality will keep him alive. Sanford could be in trouble as well. Lord's trying to do his best to help him. And there you go. Championship material here being nullified by the Omega firepower.
Had it not been because of the Lord's knockup, Sanford would have gotten more, but Sanji's just outputting so much.
And Luis's West is present. No retribution for either sides here. But they're trying to go straight and barrel through that HP of the Lord. Here comes Matt. He's ready to go, and I think Echo might have to let this go.
It's going to be a Lord for Smart Omega here. Once again, great fighting from Smart Omega to deal with a lot of the things that Echo is throwing at them. And that would have been huge if Sanford was able to get those extra kills there, but still stopped. I mean, even for a moment, he was just knocked in the air for so long and couldn't even play because of the fact that Luis was there as well with this Ruby pick.
Man, Lord MVP, bro.
Lord is the MVP for sure. But obviously, Omega played so well. This is how you play against the Bats. If you see him in action and there's no Matilda, you know that you can take him out, even in the late game where he's very tanky.
Right.
If you have 5 members just barreling down on that one hero, it's great. And they also saw that Sanford was actually busy in the middle, managing the lanes. That's also another advantage of getting the Angela.
Yeah, big
Oh,
fight
no.
could start erupting here. Sanford put down on the low. Luis is waiting. He's still got that pullback. Zaida has to charge on out of there, but the Lord charges alongside with him. Mark on the split. Inhibitor tower turret will fall. JP's on conceal. They want to go for it. Sides to cancel it out. Just be happy with the defense.
They hold it together. I mean, it looked a little dicey there, right? Smart Omega could have pushed it in, but Echo playing it pretty well on the defense there against that Lord, nearing that 23-minute mark. This is quite the longer game here, but in terms of scaling, is Echo going to get that favor the longer this game goes? Will Smart Omega continue to be this much of a nuisance for them?
So, definitely maxed out. Maybe the next scaling hero should be Sanji, but he's also maxed out anyways. And perhaps, yeah, I think this is probably the power spike of, sorry, not power spike, but the critical mass for both Echo as well as Omega.
Yeah, we're seeing a point where maybe decision making is going to be a factor, because we saw earlier Zaida. I think the best time for Omega to fight is when Zaida is channeling the Daytona's welcome, right? No chance for him to actually fight back. So it's going to be all about timings here right now.
I think part of this too is Sanford, his decision. Talking about decisions here, is does he actually put the split push to play? You know, and it's kind of hard when you're dealing with an Angelo across from you in the hands of Ryle here. I mean, even looking at the damage, Sanji has it, but there's so much sustain that even if he lands a couple shots, it's very quickly that Smart Omega gets back to these healthy health bars, right?
Yeah.
So it's tough to deal with, and I think when we really talk about decision making, it is down to that, right? Where does Sanford decide to go? And is it more value for him to actually be with the fight and team fight, you know, to land those petrify like the final blow combinations?
Yeah. Okay, now real close. Omega only leading by 1,000, but they have the map control. And Sanford is again very preoccupied, taking care of business up top, where the minions are gonna be naturally closing on against Echo because of that, of the inhibitor turret being down. And Zaida is still far away from. I don't know if he's got the immortality soon, like the cooldown.
Oh, look at JP and outplayed.
Oh, that's a massive movement up on the top side of the map.
Might be worth it to actually go for the Angela, but then if you think about it, Angela can just use the ultimate. I wonder if there's like a Winter Truncheon on the side of Ryle. There is Winter Truncheon, so yeah.
They're planted up there.
You can buy a lot of time with that.
I don't think this is a good decision coming out from Echo, because they only will be able to catch the Angela, and that's not worth it just because of that Winter Truncheon that I'm talking about, because you can pop the Heart Guard and get into the fight.
Well, they cleared those minions already, so they might have to give a go signal with a conceal play up top.
Yeah, all they got to do is wait. It's a
going.
three-man push on top
win.
side. They are going to pull the trigger, and they take out Ryle. No time to punch that Winter Truncheon. And Luis is getting punched really hard as well. Here comes Matt with the intercept. He finds on Sanford. Mortality's still going to be active here for both of these players. That is a huge W. It was one guy. It's a huge W for Echo, I believe.
Huge W. I thought it would be a bad decision, but then again, Ryle did not have an immortality. Had it been that he had the immortality, that would be a bad decision coming out from Echo. But of course, they're champions. They're world champions for a reason. What a play coming out from JP.
Yeah, great play here, but still they have to claim this Lord, and Smart Omega's not going to let this go again in 30 seconds. If they stall it out, Ryle could just pop in with a hard guard at 8 seconds notice. So Echo goes in.
Yeah, it's a 4v5 right now, and Echo knows it. Goes straight for Mark. He goes on split. Here goes Zaida as well. Luis gonna be going down. Immortality going up as well. Matt, it's gonna go crazy here. So many low HP members here, and Luis gonna be coming out on top here. Echo looks like they are very happy to take these fights, and here comes Sanji with a flank. He's flanking with a Novaria of all heroes, and he's hunting down West. Going down is gonna be outplayed though. Here comes that bite from Omega. Hard guard is active as well. Matt is still alive, but they're gonna go push up on the mid. Echo trying to go and straight true to their form and true to their reputation. Barrels down on mid and take the W.
talk about an express decision from Echo there. Some people might have wondered, why was Sanji not firing off in the direction of the team fight, and that's exactly why. Able to get the win there in game one.
Oh man, that play for Ryle had a chance to go to that top spot, and I honestly thought that it would be a bad play, but then I did not take for account that there's no immortality actually for Ryle.